Pittsburgh hosts OK Kids, an event aimed at getting kids outdoors. It's Cowtown Days in Baxter Springs. We'll take you there. Webb City hosts its citywide sale, which one family is using for a special cause. A local volunteer group hit the streets in downtown Joplin. We'll tell you why.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It was a beautiful day across the 4 states today, and many area communities had events to get folks outdoors. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Chris Warner. Well, today, Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation held their Outdoor Kids Day event to encourage kids to be outside. The annual OK Kids Day held numerous events around the city to get the kids outside. This year, due to the pandemic, they had to limit their activities and the number of people registered. The biggest change was the removal of their canoeing activity, but they're saying their goal of getting kids active hasn't changed.
I think it still has the same meaning. Our goal is to get the kids outdoors. It's Outdoor Kansas Kids Day. So we're still getting that aspect of it, but we're just limiting the amount of activities and the amount of participants.
Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation says this day gives kids an opportunity to reconnect with nature. Activities included were fishing, archery, as well as many other, of course, outdoor activities. Plenty of people were out and about this morning in Baxter Springs and enjoying day number 2 of Cowtown Days at the historic Johnston Public Library grounds. There were tons of fun things to do, including checking out the 100 craft vendors, listening to some live music, and grabbing some tasty barbecue, and of course a lot more. Now, the pandemic canceled last year's Cowtown Days, but in 2021 it looks like folks in and around Baxter Springs, as well as their pets, we're itching to get outside and make this year's get-together a smash hit.
We didn't get to have it for a while because of the pandemic, but they're expecting 2,000 to 3,000 people here today throughout the day. I think that's great for our community. It will bring a lot of people in.
With quarantine, I had 7 people living in one house, so it wasn't fun. So actually getting out of the house was a lot better than staying in one house with 7 people.
Cowtown Days 2021 also featured a car show and even some Old West gunfights, a pie competition, and a beard and mustache contest. That's something I don't know, Nick, if you and I would be able to participate in, but it was a gorgeous day out there today.
What people had to do outside, Chris, no matter where they were, weather was perfectly acceptable for this weekend so far. Even with a lot more cloud cover streaming in today and certainly throughout the afternoon, we still took advantage of the sunshine and got temperatures back into the upper 70s today. But the cloud cover streaming in from the south is actually a sign that our next storm system, actually a system that we're kind of familiar with, is ready to kick back in as we go into tomorrow. And I'm watching another storm system off to the north and west that will want to bring in some more action by Monday. So I've got a few storm systems I'm watching over the next few days, but as far as this evening goes, we're still looking pretty good. Lower to middle 70s at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. It's going to be a slow drop as we bounce back and forth between partly to mostly cloudy skies. Eventually we'll drop back to 61. But as you saw, Chris, I've got 2 systems I'm tracking with storm chances picking up tomorrow and maybe some severe weather by Monday and early Tuesday. We'll touch base on those systems coming up in a bit.
Nick, thank you. Well, the weather today was picture perfect, as we've mentioned, for the Webb City citywide rummage sale. Dozens of homes participated across the city, offering a number of great deals and bargains. One home was selling items that were donated to them to help raise money for some local students.
We started raising money specifically for students to go on mission trips, both in statewide and then also internationally. And that turned into getting to know the missionaries internationally, so we try to help support them.
Andro says it's a year-long process to get everything collected for the sale. A group of volunteers from Forest Park Baptist Church in Joplin took advantage of the gorgeous weather this morning as well to help beautify downtown Joplin. Now, the group met this morning at 9 at City Hall before taking to Main Street in downtown to plant fresh flowers in the city's flower baskets. Now, in addition to planting flowers, volunteers took time to clean up trash and pull weeds. Volunteers say the work today included several groups that were involved in other projects.
And other people are handing out flowers to widows and those that need encouragement during this time. Others are going to police stations and firehouses to encourage our local heroes and just many different things. That's what we're doing. We just want to show Joplin that we love Joplin and that we just want to be united.
Albert Ferris of Albert's Greenhouse in Joplin donated all of the flowers, soil, and fertilizer for the project. Riggs Chiropractic teamed up with Southeast Kansas Humane Society as well as local food trucks for a Food Trucks and Fur Babies event. The event took place at Riggs Chiropractic and offered free spinal screenings as well as opportunities for good food for animals to find a new home. They also got good food. The SEK Humane Society says they wanted to participate in the event to gain more awareness for their cause.
And we wanted a way to benefit, especially during COVID, some of the other kind of local businesses that were needing help. And we have a soft spot in our hearts for animals, and we're like, what's better than dogs and good food? So how cute would that be?
Riggs Chiropractic says all proceeds from their new patient appointments will go towards the SEK Humane Society. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Sergeant George Johnson served in the Army from 1942 to 1945, his hometown, Rich Hill, Missouri. We are proud to recognize Sergeant George Johnson, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, learn more about other heroes or nominate one of your own. Just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that is a look at our top stories and a quick check of that forecast here on the KOAM News at 6. Still ahead, we're going to take a look back at the top medical stories of the week. And as more than 100 million Americans are now vaccinated against the coronavirus, new travel restrictions are going into place. New research looks at the benefits of vitamin D for people with dark skin, plus the CDC eases mask restrictions for vaccinated people. Famie Redwood has a look at the week's top health stories.
The CDC says fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear masks all the time. According to the new recommendations, if outside, fully vaccinated individuals can exercise, attend small gatherings, and even dine at outdoor restaurants without covering their face. But the agency says masks should still be worn at indoor public settings, even if vaccinated.
We know that the virus spreads very well indoors. Until more people are vaccinated, and while we still have more than 50,000 cases a day, mask use indoors will provide extra protection.
A new CDC study finds vaccinated adults over the age of 65 are 94% less likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19. The findings are based on hundreds of hospitalizations across 14 states. And vitamin D supplements could help lower the risk of heart disease for people with dark skin. New research links vitamin D deficiency seen in many Black Americans to high rates of heart disease, melanin, which is more concentrated in darker skin, keeping the body from making vitamin D through sun exposure. Vitamin D is needed for blood vessels to function properly. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Famie Redwood, CBS News, New York.
The CDC says more than 100 million Americans are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. On Tuesday, the U.S. begins restricting travel from India, where new daily infections are numbering in the hundreds of thousands. CBS News correspondent Michael George has the latest from New York.
In Santa Clara County, California, health officials are working to dispel COVID-19 myths and convince young people to get vaccinated.
Young people have this misconception that COVID is no big deal. It is a big deal.
In social media, there are a lot of rumors going around about how the vaccine is not important or how we don't need it because we're not at high risk.
The U.S. has reached President Biden's goal of 200 million vaccines administered in his first 100 days in office. But vaccine hesitancy and slowing vaccination rates are a new battlefront in the war on COVID-19. Arkansas is one of more than 10 states not ordering all available doses. 36% of Arkansas residents have received at least one dose, but that's well below the national total. This as the nation's Pacific Northwest is dealing with a new spike in cases.
Our hospitalizations have nearly doubled what they were a week ago.
And starting Tuesday, the U.S. is restricting travel from India, where a devastating surge has pushed daily new infections above 400,000. The federal government is sending supplies, such as desperately needed oxygen, to India.
India helped us last year in some of the darkest days of the U.S. pandemic, sending assistance in our hour of need.
India is working to get shots into people's arms, but with more than 1.3 billion people, there's a long road ahead. Michael George, CBS News.
COVID-19 has killed more than 576,000 Americans, compared with more than 210,000 in India, according to Johns Hopkins University. Well, Nick Kelly is up next with his complete forecast.
Even with the return of cloud cover today, we still managed to warm up nicely after kind of a chilly start this morning. We go back over the past 36 hours. We observed temperatures hitting at least 80 degrees at Joplin Regional yesterday afternoon. In fact, we hit that about the 5 o'clock hour, dropping back into the lower to middle 50s this morning. A bit of a chilly start, but still a nice rebound back up into the upper 70s for afternoon highs today. Even though we kept things quiet today, things will change starting tomorrow. I'm watching one storm system come back into the picture with thunderstorm chances picking up for Sunday. Then another system with thunderstorms and maybe some severe weather chances Monday and possibly going into Tuesday morning. Then, once we get beyond that, even with a couple more systems that we're watching later in the week ahead, we will keep temperatures fairly mild as we go through much of next week. In the meantime, though, 7th and range line, a lot of cloud cover out there for sure, but we're quiet underneath the clouds. 73 in Joplin, south-southwesterly breeze at 9 miles per hour, while the humidity sits at 46%. Everyone's sitting in pretty comfy territory, from 70 in Jay, Oklahoma to 75 in Cassville, 71 in Parsons, 74 in Lamar and Carthage. So everyone's sitting mild and nice to start this evening out. And we have noticed that southerly breeze return. This is what helped temperatures warm back up despite the cloud cover in place. We're still seeing a southerly breeze at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, and that breeze is going to stay added through the overnight. That means a slow drop off in temperatures. You can see how we drop into the upper 60s by 8, but only mid 60s by midnight and lower 60s for tomorrow morning. So it's going to stay mild, but thankfully we stay dry for the evening and going into the overnight. However, note this storm system spinning across Texas. This is actually part of a system that helped to bring rain and thunderstorms earlier in the week. That wants to make another repeat appearance tomorrow while we wait for this cold front to the north and west to head our way as well. But that won't head until Monday, especially when this upper low sitting over Idaho starts to come into play. So we're tracking two systems over the next few days. The first one coming in from the south, so that's what brought the cloud cover back in for today. And I think it really holds off on any rain chances during the overnight. So if you have any outdoor plans this evening, I think you're fine. You just have to deal with the southerly breeze, cloud cover, and eventually temperatures dropping back into the lower 60s. I think it's until after 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and certainly going into the afternoon. More moisture works in. We'll have some scattered storms to keep an eye on, but thankfully, I'm not seeing any of this turning severe, so we don't have to worry about that for tomorrow. 61 in the morning, 70 by noon, afternoon highs around 74. Then we get this wave out of here. We keep quiet for Sunday night and Monday morning. Then here comes that cold front from the northwest with that next upper wave. We'll watch for storms along the front, and some complexes of thunderstorms try to head our way as well late Monday night and going into Tuesday. Well, there's the map I was trying to pull. With this system on Monday, this could bring a low severe threat our way from about Nevada, Pittsburgh, Parsons, Bartlesville, Point South and East from 5 o'clock Monday evening to about 3 a.m. Tuesday morning. Large hail, gusty winds, heavy rain being the main threats. So that's the day that we're going to have to keep a close eye on for any severe weather chances as we begin the new week. Despite all that, we're still mild for tomorrow with highs for 74, 81 on Monday, 62 on Tuesday. So we take a dip behind Monday's storm system, Chris, but thankfully, though, we'll keep highs in the 60s.
Not a bad forecast overall, but definitely picking up with that thunderstorm activity next week.
Yeah, especially the next couple days. So activity will certainly keep an eye on.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, one local athlete has received the call of a lifetime. He's headed to the NFL. Plus, Carthage gets a shot at revenge against Joplin after falling to the Eagles in extra innings last week. Danny Terzer has it all coming up.
Former Webb City standout Zach Davidson is drafted by the Minnesota Vikings today. He is picked in the 5th round at 168 overall. Davidson is a tight end and played collegiate ball at Central Missouri. He was a 2019 All-American after racking up 15 touchdowns on 40 receptions and averaging 22.35 yards per catch. The J.L. Hutchinson Little League hosts its opening day ceremony today. A very special guest is taking part in the festivities. Fort Scott native Adam LaRoche throws out the first pitch. LaRoche played in the majors for 12 seasons as a first baseman and is a big supporter of youth baseball. He stuck around to chat with fans, sign autographs, and take pictures.
The amount of friendships and lifelong memories that you get when you're 7, 8 years old, 10, 12 years old, playing on these fields. And again, I don't think they probably won't realize it now, but we all look back and think of those and remember those times as some of the best we ever had in baseball.
Pittsburgh State Baseball is riding a 5-game winning streak. Today, the Gorillas are on the road to finish out a series against Missouri Western. In Game 1 of a doubleheader, PSU gets by Missouri Western 7-6. Game 2 still going on. A big 7th inning has the Gorillas leading 5-1. Missouri Southern also on the road, starting a series against Northwest today. Lions take Game 1 6-2. Jordan Fitzpatrick gets a solo homer and racks up 3 RBI total. Then Missouri Southern wins again, this time 11-4. Fitzpatrick and Dexter Swims combine for 7 RBI. In the COC today, Carthage hosts Joplin for the second time this season. In the first meeting last week, the game went into extra innings and Joplin came out on top. Carthage with a shot at revenge. In the third, David Fiskus to center for a base hit. Cole Cooper comes home. Joplin gets the first run of the game. Same inning, Justin McReynolds pops it straight up. A sea of blue is there, but it drops. Fielding Campbell and Kyler Stokes come in. Big inning for the Eagles. They score 5. Later, Carthage at bat, a grounder into the pitcher. The Eagles turn the double play. Joplin dominates. They get the 10-2 conference win. Pittsburgh State softball is currently in 10th place in the MIAA. The Gorillas need to get to 8 to qualify for the conference tournament. Today is their last chance as PSU hosts Northwest for their final 2 games of the season. In Game 1, Alexis Kump over the fence actually hits the scoreboard. 3-run home run. Northwest leads 6-1. In the 5th, Caitlin Weiss, line drive to right. That's good for an RBI double. Then Kaylee Burns in her final start as a Gorilla gets the strikeout to end the inning with a batter left on. Pittsburgh State makes it a close one, but Northwest takes Game 1 8-6. In Game 2, the Gorillas fall 10-7 after taking an early lead. The pair of losses today ends the season for PSU. Missouri Southern at 3rd in the MIAA plays their final pair of games today as well. In Game 1 against Missouri Western, the Lions win 4-3. Ashlyn Williams goes 3 for 4 at the plate and drives in 3 runs. Then Missouri Southern gets the sweep with a 3-2 win in Game 2. The Lions close out the regular season with 8 straight wins. That's it for sports. We've got more news after this.
Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to take you to the 4th annual Guns and Hoses benefit in Joplin. Plus, we're taking a look at OK Kids Day in Pittsburgh and how one local group got together to make downtown Joplin a little brighter. Got those stories and a lot more tonight at 10. Final check of that forecast with Nick Kelly.
So far we're quiet and mild this evening, Chris, but the cloud cover we saw working today is hinting that our next storm system comes back in tomorrow. A better shot for scattered rain and storms tomorrow, mainly during the afternoon with highs for 74, 81 on Monday. We'll watch that system for any severe weather. And then with additional rain chances and dry time through much of next week, that'll keep highs in the 60s.
All right, Nick, thank you. And that's our time for now. Next news time is at 9 on Fox 14. We'll be back here at 10 on KOAM, and we're always on at KOAMNewsNow.com and in the KOAM News Now app. And thanks for making us part of your night.